all beautiful shades from all around the world. Here I am. I am Shushmita, a painter, a graphic designer, and a copywriter. 50 Shades of Creative is a compilation of my 12 years of experience, and here I am to make things easier for you, simpler for you, and to make sure that you don't make the mistakes I did. And one prime thing I need you to know today about your brand is audience tone. And when I talk about tone, I talk about both color and sound. Here is all you need to know. What is audience tone? It is how you talk to them or what you show them. Let's talk about sound first. Because tone, when we set our audience, there's a certain vibe to it. Let's say your client, your audience, or your customer is in their 20s. So in their 20s, they're very youthful, very trendy, and very contemporary. They live in the moment, and very soon they're just moving on to the next thing, then moving on to the next thing. That time in their 20s, life is at a speed. Life is very speedy, and life runs at a very high pace for the people who are in their 20s. So if they're in their late 20s, they may be a bit more patient, a bit more understanding, but 20s is for exploration. So if your content, if your product, if your service is targeting people in their 20s, that is the most youthful kind, the most youthful phase of life, you will have to set the color of your brand for the youthful people. You cannot just go peaceful blue and peaceful cyan, peaceful turquoise, or very peaceful tones for clients in their 20s or people in their 20s. You go for very vibrant green or red or orange or yellow. Those are very, very, very happy colors and very trending, very energetic colors. You go for that. And of course, there are combinations. Google it. When you are having a clientele who are in their 40s, that is very much a settled down stage. In 40s, people hardly look for exploration, hardly look for adventure. Some of them may look for adventure because they find life already, they don't want to settle down. They think it's too late. People who are in their 40s, usually they go through a crisis or they have settled down and they know exactly what they want, they know exactly what they're doing. So based on your service or your product, whatever you are targeting and whichever group you are targeting, you have to set the color. And the color must be a bit muted because people in their 40s, they don't like to look at, vibrant shades. They are more familiar with a muted shades of green, mute shades of blue, or mute shades of red. So you have to Google it according to that group. People who are more prone to traveling, if your service or your product is related to travel, you can target, as many people as... Oh, we are back. We had a connection disruption. Okay, so if you are targeting people, those who are single and people in their 20s, 30s, those who can travel alone, then of course, most of the traveling agencies, they have blue and green or art tones, because people travel mountains, people travel to beaches, people don't want to travel to, just to different cities, just to shop. Those who are travelers, they love adventure. So you have to pick colors according to that. If you are providing traveling services for family, let's say a family vacation, that's an entirely different shade. That's an entirely different tone. So this is how you pick the color and Oh, we are back again. So I was saying the sound of your brand also must follow the audience. That is the tone of your brand. If you are targeting young people, you can be very hyper, very energetic, and very trending. Let's go do this, and life is fast, live in the moment. If you are targeting people who are in their 40s, you will have to be more patient. Your tone will be more cool and very much reassuring tone of voice. When you are writing copies, this is what you have to keep in mind. Let's say, here's one tricky part. If you are targeting teenagers, then whom do you target? For those of you who know, and if any of you are joining, if you are watching it on the replay, let me know in the comment section. That's if you are targeting the teenagers, if any of your service or your product targets the teenagers. What should be your tone? And I give you 5 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Your tone should be to their guardian, the decision makers. A teenager hardly makes their own decision. Even if they do, they have to depend on their parents for that money. So if you are selling to the teenagers, one thing you can do is directly communicate with them. Let's say telecommunication. When they have special offers for teenagers, because they are always on the phone, they are always on the run, and they always want to talk to their friends. So they will do that because, okay, so the connection is still okay. They will ask their parents, or they will save money from their allowance, and they will spend it on the talk time, they will spend it on the mobile data and connection, because they want to be, updated with the world. If you are selling a different thing, let's say nutrition for teenagers, or health service for teenagers, or physical fitness for teenagers, you have to target their parents, because their parents make the decision for them. If you are targeting children, you will see children's brand, either food or anything. They have very childish fonts, they have very childish, colorful, very colorful. But still, when they target their parents. They don't target children. Children don't buy, their parents buy. Oftentimes, you will see a very tricky part in marketing, that is during Valentine's Day, women's brands, let's say jewelry or cosmetics or any luxurious brand that is women, they often target men to buy this thing for their Valentine, or men's brand target women to buy this thing for their Valentine. So these are very tricky parts. You can use it during this, let's say, Valentine's Day, or for Father's Day. If you are a men's brand during Father's Day, they target their children, not fathers directly. This Father's Day, buy this for your father, or give this gift to your father. Women's Day, sometimes they target men, and sometimes they target children. Of course, Women's Day is for all women. Men's Day, they often target women. This is tricky part, you need to know. But if you are a startup, if you are a solopreneur, if you are an entrepreneur, you don't need to worry about all this at the very beginning. What you need to know is who your audience is. You need to be very sure about your audience, very narrowed group of audience. This is called niche. You cannot, let's say Women's Day, you can speak to from 13 to 70, I guess. They are all women, but your product, however womanly that is, it cannot be for everyone. Once you target everyone, you lose everyone, because nobody knows exactly whom you are talking to. So you have to set a precise tone, like I am talking to you now. If you're an entrepreneur, if you're a solopreneur, if you're a startup, this is what you need to be very sure of. Whom are you talking to? I had a previous video on my YouTube, are you talking to the right audience? I also had that live on Facebook. If possible, watch that again. If you have any further question, let me know in the comment section. Someone joined. Can you give me a hi? Because I cannot see your name. But thank you for joining. So what you do is you keep your audience group very precise. If you are selling women's product, it can be from 18 to 20. It can be from 21 to 25, those who are finding their career. It can be from 25 to 30, those who have a career or they have a 9-to-5 job. It can be from 30 to 35 because they are a mother also by that time. So this is how you pick your group, a very precise group, and you communicate with them. You cannot talk to a teenager like you would talk to an adult. That is hardly the case. So you have to put yourself in that position and pick the tone both in terms of color and sound. So what colors do you choose for your brand, and what words do you choose for your brand? That is the tone of your audience. It also involves an attitude, but I will make a separate video on that. That will be both the attitude of colors and the attitude of words. If you're a graphic designer, if you're a copywriter, if you're an entrepreneur, if you know nothing about anything, you just can join this, because I am here to make things easier for you, simpler for you, and to make sure that you don't make the mistakes I did. Now, I hope this video helped. Feel free to share this with absolutely anyone. Invite your friends to this group. I have a massive good news to make. For those of you who are solopreneurs, entrepreneurs, and startup, all this information can be overwhelming. All this information can be way too much. So, a masterclass is coming up for those of you who are interested in that masterclass and exactly what you want to learn and what have you learned so far and where are you lost. Let me know all of it in the comment section. And yes, this 5-day masterclass is coming up very soon, and I will see you all together. Share this message with absolutely everyone, invite absolutely everyone, and yeah, I will see you there.